You are now tuned in to the frequency of mirrors and messages. I am Lee here on Mirror Soul Guidance, bringing forth messages of clarity, protection, and truth, all to guide you back to yourself. So discern what's for you. And let's get into some quick messages. We're going to go with this right here. It's a big old stack of channeled messages, wisdom, and knowledge gained along the way. Guidance. Some decisions in life come with uncertainty. No matter how much advice, information we gather. So a mirror for somebody. Are you willing to trust yourself to choose what's right for you? Are you willing to trust yourself to flow sometimes through the unknown? It's easy to try to force outcomes, but you'll find that it's quite hard to just trust in the presence of now, and truly trust in your ability to discern what's most aligned. And sometimes we have to walk through that unknown, what we call blind faith, Sometimes it may look like a state of delusion or, because you just got to trust in something that you can't see. Is what we trust in, it's how we trust into the things that we can't see, to where that thought, those visions, all of those things begin to take form because we align with what's needed so that that thing can come into our reality, whatever it may be. And so this is guidance and invitation to reflect, on your abilities to fully trust yourself, or what ways could you begin to better trust yourself. And then on the back, it says some answers are not received. They're realized through living experience, living them, witnessing things. Which kind of reflects back to what I said, just that blind faith and just trusting yourself through unknown times, unfamiliar circumstances, through change, whatever that may look like. I did just see fire energy in one of these cards. And that's just movement energy. For some of you, you might want to reflect how you're flowing in life. From different angles, different perspectives, across different areas of your life. That's really what I'm trying to say. Because some of you could just be in the flow, so much in the flow that now you're caught up in like a loop or routine or some type of cycle. And so sometimes it takes for you to slow down in life and come to that awareness that you still might not even be trusting yourself. You just might just be caught up in a routine or some type of cycle of doing things. So it still reflects you back to yourself and how you're moving with that fire energy I seen flash through this deck. It was somewhere. Here it is. Yeah. Some of you might need to purify your vessel, purify your mind, purify your living space, just to bring in new energy within your mind, your body, your spirit, your home. For some of you, practice in the form of alchemy, where you're burning and releasing. You write down things that you want to release from your energy across all realms, timelines, and dimensions, especially those more serious, dense, burdensome things that can really weigh on your heart, your mind, your spirit. Things that you may witness and recognize as generational blocks, things that you maybe have witnessed occur within your family over time. Things that may be reoccurring in your life that's not necessarily aligning you with balance or with higher versions of yourself. For instance, things that are just keeping you in a lower state. It may be time to write down those things, fold them away from you when you're folding it up to burn, and just burn it. You could do this with a candle, or you could just literally just go somewhere in nature, find sand, dirt, whatever, make you a little small pit, and do it that way. Burn and release. Just make sure you be careful, please. Proceed with caution. This also could just be a soul reflection as it relates to trusting yourself, just to truly reflect on life and how you're moving, your actions. Is it aligned with your truest power, your truest ability to self-govern and, lead yourself and trust the way that you are being called or drawn to move, in the way of your discernment, not just, why am I hearing glitz and glam of things? Don't get caught up in trends. Now's not the time to be following others, but aligning with energies that resonate with higher versions of yourself, or resonates with whatever visions that you have in mind for yourself, as far as where you want to go, how you want to move, or not necessarily too much of the how, but just allowing your dreams at this time, allowing your visions. If you daydream a lot, really be aware and self-reflective of those things, because those things could be things that you're thinking about that could have been programmed somewhere in your mind through something you could have been scrolling through on one of your social media platforms. This could have been something that may have been attached to you ever since childhood or something. I don't know. Thoughts come from so many different array of things, right? And it's sometimes when you take the time to reflect, you'll realize that a lot of these thoughts never originated from you or your Akashic body. Sometimes these things just come from so many outside sources, and then you find yourself thinking about these things and realizing that, hey, you've been worrying for no reason. You've been really spending so much time and energy putting focus into dense frequencies and thoughts and vibratory, energy that is not helping you to progress in a way that you're trusting yourself. You're more so being, I don't know why I heard handled. I don't really want to say handled in a way. In some situations that might be the case. But you might just find yourself, like I said again, being caught up in certain loop cycles, karmic or not, or just so programmed into a certain routine. It just may be time for you to switch it up and move differently, flow differently. And for some of you, this could just, like I said, be a soul call to just return to yourself and trusting in yourself. Learn to trust in yourself in a way that you've never done so before. And that could just look like so many different things. So just really take the time to sit with yourself and reflect upon what that may be. This could be generational healing. Something that you've witnessed and have decided for yourself that you don't want to continue to flow in that energy. This could be good for you to burn and release it. Speak it. I don't really want to say speak it. When you write, when you're speaking anything, speak it with that power and that authority and that surety. That's that trust in yourself that it's a way I'm trying to word it without without potentially fueling somebody else's ego. Because you can say, I was going to say that you can, you know what, the whole thought just went away. So we're just going to continue to move on from that. This other energy that's here, it would be wise to not cling onto yesterday and expect today to unfold. You'll only just be stuck in the past life or in any past life if you continue to hold on to yesterday. It is yesterday. So many yesterdays have passed, and it's like, be reminded that when you reflect, when you experience, when you go back to revisit the memory in the form of like your past experiences that may not have been so light or bright, you know, these dense experiences we've all had in life at some point or another. When we reflect on those things, I'm sure if those feelings come up, allow them to come up. Allow yourself to feel whatever it may come up, right? Don't run from it. But as well, take from those experiences, like, if you're going to think about the densest part of it and the thought or that reflection with the lessons learned, the wisdom gained, what helped you overcome whatever challenge or obstacle that may have been or whatever it was, right? So that now you've witnessed the lowest, densest part of that experience, right? So now you can let that go and you can end on that reflection with the highest form of what helped you to alchemize yourself through that situation. Therefore, now you've turned that negative thought into a positive thought. Someone may resonate with that, some may not, but it seemed to have worked for me over time when I've found myself kind of out of alignment and I've had to like reflect and really witness myself and come home to myself, like what I like to call a soul call. There's some things in this life that we can become awoken to, or we can awake to, and it can be really hard channeling through these things, right? And some of us, we don't always have immediate direct guidance, and so that's where you have to, like, as a part of your spiritual hygiene, I'm being guided to say that that's why it's always wise to remain grounded and balanced in a way to where you're in close connection with nature, to where you know if all else fails and the mind can't process what the body's feeling, right? Because a lot of the time that's how it happens. You'll feel things in your body, and then it's like you'll try to the logical mind will try to start to, oh my goodness, why am I talking like this? Slow down for somebody, because I definitely need to slow down right now. Sometimes the body will begin to feel and process information that your mind hasn't yet caught up to. And so then the logical mind will start to begin to try to force outcomes or fix something that really doesn't need to be fixed, but just, you know, you have to learn to align with the changing ebbs and flows of life and the different energies we encounter throughout our days. Let's pull some more energies, because I don't even know. My mind was literally, it just felt like my mind was 3 different places at one time. That just felt so trippy. I got a slight headache from that. That has never happened to me before. Wow. So at this time, a lot of us may be, yeah, so I had to pause for a minute. It's like I was experiencing the present in like a moment of bliss, but then it's like my mind, 2 parts of my mind, I was seeing on my left side a vision of something, and then there was another vision of something on the right side, and it's like all of this was happening at one time. That's crazy. So some of us may be experiencing like upgrades, especially those of us who get out in the sun every day for at least 2 hours, at least an hour. I don't know. I can't put a time on it. However, me and my children, we've been spending a lot of time outside in nature. And one thing that I do know, I had the vision earlier this rising, and it was just like a reminder for me, from Mama Nature, Mama Earth, to, well, the vision was of a flower. This vision came from the fact that I was reminded when I looked out, well, when I went to go open my windows up in my house, that they just had cut the grass yesterday, and they had waited so long to cut the grass that it looked like big hay clumps out in the yard. And then I had a vision of how every time they cut the grass, new flowers will grow so fast and just begin to emerge, and like it's these beautiful yellow and pink flowers that grow on the side of my home, and they cut them down and then they'll grow right back, but they grow in a way where it looks like they're opening their arms wide open to the sun, and like with their head, with the flower petals like fixated in a way, it's like if it was a face or a head. It's like somebody standing with their arms wide open and their head tilted back. And it's just like a reminder for me to, keep staying in close connection with the nature elements, with the animals, with everything that I'm doing, because that's what I do. Me and my children live really close to nature. And I'm true to my indigenous roots, and so we spend a lot of time outside. I'm very in tune with the elements, with my spirit guides in animal form, like the weather, everything. And it's like when you stay in the sun, when you put intentional time and energy into being in nature, I don't care if you're even just going to sit outside and do nothing and like just try to experience no mind, where you just literally allow Mama Earth, the trees, the insects, maybe not the insects, but just nature to just truly like cleanse your energy, and take you away from all of the noise of the world, the chaos of the world. It's necessary, and that is reflecting me back to this card, this healing. That is healing energy. You can receive so many healing I want to say frequencies, but then my mom wanted to say something else. So many healing and guiding frequencies, codes, and just good healing energy straight from the sun. I know, like, anytime me and my children are like trying to heal from any sickness, any disease within the body, one of the main things I do is open up all the windows in my home, purify, allow sunlight in your home to purify the energy, to purify your bed, your pillows, aside from like washing them. Also do that daily to help just purify the energy in your home, because a lot of people don't realize that energy can really get stuck and stagnant in your home. And you walking around wondering why you feeling so low, you're up and down, your energy just really shifty and moody. It's because you walking around with that same blank energy, or the same stale energy. You don't rearrange your furniture, you don't, switch up things. Like, you don't have to make big changes to feel subtle. You can make subtle changes that will create larger, impactful energy shifts that can help you to remain or restabilize your balance within your vessel, but also within your home. And that should be priority, because that's probably where a lot of you spend most of your time when you're not working, or everyone does. Everyone's on different timelines, so life looks different for everybody, but it's like your home should be a safe haven, should be your peace. Wherever it is, you can make anywhere a home, right? But I was gonna say something else, I forgot. I started channeling again. I keep coming across this card. Nurture your inner child. I drew this card one day. It's so cute. It was so fun drawing it, so I just kind of went back to that energy. Right, your inner child is like a felt energy. It's not really a spoken energy. It's like just an inner knowing. You'll know the things that like you might experience certain places or people, and like they give you a feeling, or you might say something or do something that just instantly reminds you of an experience from childhood, or instantly reminds you of a part of your childlike self that you maybe forgot about but then remember. And like, it's healing when you honor your inner child and allow yourself to go to the part. Like me and my children, I recently discovered, like, just through simply implementing daily fasting, eating one meal a day for quite some time now, I've, without exercising, been able to like reestablish upper body muscle strength and vitality, and I'm able to like pull my body weight, do a lot of things that I used to love doing as a kid. I'm able to do them now. But now I'm learning to trust myself, right, a little bit more, because, you know, when you a child, you just free spirited. You just do stuff without really putting too much thought in it. You see something fun or interesting, you curious about something, you just go for it. Even if you have a thought, a lot of the time kids don't have no filter, they just say stuff. But it's like when you're trying to sometimes connect the healing, connect to your inner child through the stages of healing, because it can be so many different awakenings or phases and stages of healing that you could witness or, you know, realize needs to happen, because you taking these moments to like reflect. That's why it's important to take moments to reflect in life. But certain aspects of your inner child can be reestablished or like healed in your adult mind and body and spirit, you know. And so once I realized I could, you know, pull my own body weight, and like I realized the muscle strength, my upper body muscle strength or whatever that I had lost at one point in time, I regained it literally by just changing my habits and my mindset and how I nourish my body. And so it encouraged me to like start doing parkour with my children, which is something that I used to really love to do as a kid growing up in the country for most of my life. And then like summer vacations I would spend with my dad's side of the family, which was like city life. But anyways, when I would be outside as a kid, I used to love running up the banks, hills, down hills, jumping off of crazy stuff with my cousins, just being wild and free. And so I'm learning how to trust myself in a whole new way at this stage in life. And it's also healing my inner child connection. Like I'm doing exactly what used to free me and my spirit as a child, and I'm connecting with that energy. And it's been taking a lot of trust on my behalf, because your adult mind wants you to believe that things are scary or that you can't do it, or you like hesitate and question. And I'm just learning to just fully trust myself in this whole new way. And so that could be the energy for some of you. Your soul is guiding you to, your soul could be guiding you to really nurture and reconnect with your inner child. One card just flew. This is the card I just picked up. More fire energy. Ooh, y'all, my nails are kind of dirty. I was playing in dirt with my kids, making mud pies and stuff, and I need to go and wash my hands really well. I'm gonna pause and come back. So this was the card that fell out. Well, fell on the ground. I had to pause and get it. Use your truth as your weapon against all things. It says, with or by your presence. Sometimes you don't even have to speak. Your energy, your aura, your essence will speak for you. all right? Through your silence. Again, amplifying that silence, that silent energy. What I've witnessed, like with a lot of the spirits or just people or beings, whether they were relative to my life at one point in time, like it hurt people more and don't have tensions on, don't have intent, don't set your intent. It would not be wise, because I can't tell nobody what to do. It would not be wise to set your intentions on hurting other people. However, when you are living in your truth, you're being your authentic self, you're respecting boundaries, and you're also implementing your own and making sure people are respecting yours. And when they don't, sometimes you don't even have to say too much or say anything at all. Sometimes just removing your presence and going silent on people, just dying to a whole situation, scenario, relationship, partnership, and just moving on without having to explain anything. A lot of time that ruffles people's feathers a whole lot more than the exchange of going back and forth. Preserve yourself, your energy, by as much as possible trying to avoid situations where you're not going back and forth with others, because sometimes that back and forth energy is what fuels people without their acknowledgement of it. Like sometimes some people are just so caught up in that back and forth energy, they've been doing it and getting away with it, or just participating in that type of energy with others for much or majority of their life or lives, that they don't even understand that they have a problem, or they're not even able to witness it. And some of them do and don't care, but a lot of them, they don't even acknowledge it because they aren't aware. They just feel like that's, to them, that's normal because they've been exchanging in that energy for so long. But then you got people that know that they are not operating in integrity, or just, are narcissistic, or just simply just don't have an open enough perspective to allow respect for others, that, it just, I don't even know. That's chaotic energy. I lost my thought. So let's not put too much on that. I also wrote on here, speak up, not to go back and forth. Oh, well, yeah, that's the energy. I didn't even realize that was at the bottom. But yeah, speak up, not to go back and forth. But sometimes it is necessary for you to just, put your stamp on stuff, just to say, or just to speak the truth of the matter, not to argue, not to go back and forth, but just to clarify, right? Sometimes, not even to like explain, but just for clarification, But in the same time, like, I'm thinking about this now, that's still kind of like, I don't know. Sometimes I was gonna say it's still kind of like validating or trying to explain. I don't know. Just be discerning. That's the energy here. Be discerning of, if you choose to speak up on a situation, speak the truth, communicate the truth as authentically as you can, with control of, I can't even tell you to have control, because sometimes the truth can be exposed or come through in ways that aren't necessarily so love and light. However, sometimes you can get your point across to people. So it just like I said, discern the energy, discern for yourself when is necessary to speak up. But also, because I have so many different thoughts trying to come through at once, and then it's like it gets confusing. But also, if you do find yourself in a situation where you've just experienced or participated in a back and forth engagement, or something that did not bring, or that lowered your frequency in a way or whatever, don't dwell on it. Have no shame. Don't judge yourself for it, because at the end of the day, in the beginning of every rising, we all are still here experiencing this human form in whatever way we're living and experiencing. So that's just a part of this experience, experiencing emotions. It's not for us to overanalyze, overthink, and get stuck on certain experiences, scenarios, or situations. All right. I feel I like to not identify, but I like to witness those exchanges sometimes, especially when you're speaking in the form of truth. That's a righteous war. You know what I mean? A righteous roar. ROAR. Like sometimes you just gotta let the truth be known in certain situations. And sometimes, like I said, it might come out in a ugly way, but at least you spoke the truth. And you just gotta be able to bring yourself back into balance. Bring yourself to awareness of forgiveness, not necessarily for others, but mainly for yourself, because you don't want to be carrying around heavy ass dense energy at any point in time for anyone that may come across these messages. This video is already at 31 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and end this here, and I will be back soon. Thank you for tuning in to this frequency of mirrors and messages. I love you to whoever and all that have made